Richard, welcome back. So we got through week one. Before we start and talk about our QB rankings or your QB rankings for week two, I want to bring up the percentages that I thought you did for week one. You might disagree. So real quick, I just want to tell everybody, for the top 24, you got about 87% right. Top 15, 66% right. Top 10, 40% right. And top 5, 20% right. Do you have anything to add of why you think that's good or bad?
Well, I mean, in fantasy, there's always going to be a variability. This is how I see it, right? Top 24 quarterbacks, I got 21 of them. Boom. That's not bad at all. I missed on Jared Goff, Derek Carr, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who I had in the top 24. Should have had Mitchell Trubisky, Teddy Bridgewater, and Ryan Tannehill. Let's see how I do week two.
All right. I always want to make sure that we hold each other accountable as we do these rankings for the people that are watching this video. So let's get to your top 24 QB rankings for week two.
Going to start right at the top with Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes should be number one always, right? But Lamar Jackson also runs, and he's going to be at Houston. Could be another potential shootout. Lamar Jackson, number one. Number two, Patrick Mahomes, who's going to be at San Diego, or at the Chargers, at the LA Chargers. Number three, Kyler Murray, after that spectacular week one, he's going to be hosting Washington. And number four, I have Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron Rodgers. I have him. He is home against Detroit. I like him a lot. And I know, so do you, Ryan.
I think that you got Aaron Rodgers too low. They are playing the Detroit defense, and they're ranked 30th in the passing game. So I would put Aaron Rodgers a little higher.
Wow, so you'd put him in the top three?
I would. Detroit. Nice. The Detroit defense didn't do much last week, and they came in ranked 30th in the past.
Look, if Mitchell Trubisky tore them apart, my goodness, Aaron Rodgers is going to give him help. So I think you're right there. Number five, we have Dak Prescott, who's home against Atlanta. Number six, Russell Wilson, home against New England. Number seven, Matt Ryan, who's going to be at Dallas. So I think that's going to be a shootout. Matt Ryan against Dak Prescott. Number eight, Josh Allen in Miami. Again, not a huge Josh Allen fan, but Cam Newton was able to run against the Dolphins last week, and I think Josh Allen's going to be doing a lot of that too. We'll see how Brian Flores prepares for that, how he switches up the defense, but I have to put Josh Allen in the top 10.
And here again is where I kind of think you're a little biased on your Josh Allen pick. I would put him a little higher. The reason why is that Miami defense was ranked pretty bad in the passing game. They're pretty much one of the worst in the league. Wait.
Yeah, it's 1 week. No. I get you. I think a lot of people would agree with you. Put Josh Allen a little higher. And number 9, we have Ben Roethlisberger, who's home at Denver. And I know that, you saw that game against the Giants and you were impressed with Big Ben.
Do you think Big Ben's back? Do you think he's ever been gone? There's a quarterback that I definitely think that, you're just waiting for that drop-off. But he seems to, bounce back.
He was down last year, right? Obviously, he didn't play all of last year. So the issue with Big Ben is, he's getting a little older and, the rust. But he looked good against the Giants. And he's just a strong guy, has a strong arm. He has weapons on that offense, even though Connor went down. But Benny Snell had no problem. And that also has to do with the offensive line in Pittsburgh. And again, they had a loss also. One of their tackles went down. But I like Big Ben at 9. Right. Number 10, Deshaun Watson, who's home against Baltimore. Tough defensive matchup. That's why Deshaun Watson is number 10 this week. Number 11, Tom Brady, home against Carolina. I still believe in Tom Brady. I still think he's going to rebound. He didn't look so great. He didn't look so great last week. What do you think, Ryan?
I think Tom Brady's going to have a good game. I definitely think he's playing at home. He's got a lot of weapons, and I think he got his jitters out. I think, playing for a new organization after 20 years, I definitely think he was probably a little tight. You can see threw the ball kind of high on some throws, and he was stretching a little bit. So I think I think where you got him's fine. I have no problem there.
Yeah, he was throwing some ducks, man. I'm a little worried about the arm strength, but I still like him at 11. At number 12, Jared Goff. I'm going to go with Goff again. I think Sean McVay is very creative with his offense. Goff again threw for nearly 5,000 yards last year. I think he's gonna do. Gonna have a good game against Philadelphia, who made the Redskins look good. So I like Jared Goff at 12. Number 13, Drew Brees. Another guy. Well, he didn't really have to pass that much because the defense played well. But I think he's going to have to pass a little more against Las Vegas.
Well, let me ask you a question here on Drew Brees. I know he's your guy. You got him in a couple fantasy leagues. What's up with Michael Thomas?
One league. Huh?
What's up with Michael Thomas?
Oh, wow. That's right now it looks like he's going to miss at least 2 weeks, maybe more. And that, in one of my leagues, that's my first round pick. So that hurts. But Drew Brees is just going to have to rely more on other players, namely Alvin Kamara.
So you think he's going to still perform well when his top receiver's out?
Yeah. I have a choice between Ben Roethlisberger and Drew Brees in one league, and I'm probably going to play Big Ben. But still, Drew Brees is I have him ranked 13th. He's still top 50. Then number 14, I have Cam Newton at Seattle. Cam Newton played much better than I thought against the Dolphins. He ran more. He looks, believe it or not, he actually looks scared on some plays. I mean, you see one play where he just dropped before he was even touched in the backfield, just took a sack because he didn't want to be hit. So there's still that issue with him, like that contact issue. And I guess it's maybe being smarter, being a veteran, being a savvy veteran. But he still ran well. And if he runs like that every week, he'll be valuable in fantasy.
Okay, let me ask you about that Seattle defense. Do you think they deserve to be the worst in the league? I mean, they're coming off of playing Atlanta. Matt Ryan had a great game. Do you think that Seattle defense is that bad?
Seattle is not – that defense is not it's not the Legion of Boom, right? It's not what it used to be. It's more like a middle-of-the-road defense. It's not that bad either, but it's more middle of the road. But you still have to contend with Russell Wilson in the offense. And that's what helps that defense because Russell Wilson keeps the offense on the field longer. Defense has to play less. So that's what kind of makes them better now. They're not. It's not a top flight defense. No.
Yeah, I would just think Cam Newton should be ranked a little higher.
Okay, maybe I'm not a big believer. He played well last week. I don't know if he can sustain that. 15, Joe Burrow. Here's a guy that's climbing. Joe Burrow is at Cleveland. He looked fantastic. He looked like a poised veteran, especially running like the 2-minute drills. He looked really good. There is definitely reason to be happy in Cincinnati right now. Number 16, Ryan Tannehill. He's home against Jacksonville. Now, I have him here at 16 because of the matchup. But this is the game where Henry's going to get a lot of carries. He got 31 carries last week. I think he's going to get a lot more. Again, they don't really rely on Ryan Tannehill there, but because of the threat of the running game, he'll get maybe a couple passes over the top like he did this week, and score some and get some touchdown passes. At 17, I have Phillip Rivers, who's at home against Minnesota. A lot of people are down on Phillip Rivers because he threw some interceptions and Indy lost. But he did pass for 363 yards. And if he would have had more touchdowns, he could have been, one of the, top fantasy quarterbacks for the week. I mean, he was up there, but he could have been even better. But people are down on him. But I think that offense is going to move the ball. I think he's going to throw for a lot of yards. So I got him at 17.
I think he's just continuing with last season. Lots of yards and lots of interceptions.
That is true. That is true. Number 18, I have Carson Wentz, who will be home against the Rams. Number 19, Kirk Cousins, who will be at Indianapolis. 20, Matt Stafford at Green Bay. Matt Stafford's going to have to pass a lot because I think Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay, that offense is going to score a lot. Number 21, Jimmy Garoppolo, again, because of the matchup. San Francisco relies on their run, but they're playing at the Jets. And number 22, here's a guy that I normally wouldn't put in my top 24. But after the week he had last week, and because he is playing the Giants this week, I'm going to go with Mitchell Trubisky at number 22. And number 23, we're going with Gardner Minshew at Tennessee. And this is kind of the opposite of Phillip Rivers. He threw 3 touchdown passes last week, but do you know he only threw for 173 yards? I think this is what we're going to see more of Gardner Minshew. Like, he may run the ball here and there, but again, this offense is not going to be that explosive. Yes, they got the victory, but I'm not a big believer in Uncle Rico. Sorry. And then number 24, I have Teddy Bridgewater, who will be at Tampa Bay.
Teddy Bridgewater, I think he's going to warm up. I mean, he's got the best running back. He's still performing pretty well, so I just don't see him as 24. I'd like to see him a little higher.
Okay. I think I'm including, I think at Tampa Bay, the reason I think Tampa Bay is going to move the ball on them, I think they're going to score. I think Bridgewater is going to have to compete. We'll see how he does, but he did pass for 270 yards. And like you said, he has the number 1 weapon, Christian McCaffrey.
All right, Richard. Well, thanks for coming on here and sharing your top 24 quarterbacks for week 2. I appreciate you coming on here.
My pleasure.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.